Hi there, it's Rachel from Scrapeahappy.blogspot.com with the final project in my vintage card series. So this is video 6 now. As promised in the previous card videos, I was going to show you how I made a cute little purse box to hold all these cards. And in case you've missed my other projects or cards, I thought I would just show you the 6 cards I made. So this is the first one. With a dress form using Forever Young and Elegant Edges. Here's another one. This was card 3 and it used the Serenade cartridge and the Elegant Edges. This was card number 2, Floating Butterflies, using the Martha Stewart punch and Elegant Edges for the sentiment. This was card number 4. This card uses Forever Young, Fabulous Finds and Forever Young for the silhouette and the background image there. This was my 5th card using a doily and Elegant Edges for the cut here, and this was a Hampton Art Vintage Lady stamp. And then my final card, the Musical Note to Paris card sentiment with this lovely bit bling. So these 6 cards are going to be kept as a gift, and they go in this cute little purse box here that will hold the 6 envelopes. Those are 6 A2 size envelopes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They sit in the purse just like this, and then the 6 cards go into the case like that. You can see that I have Velcro on there, and then it makes this cute little purse. So I'm going to show you the steps of how I went about making this. There's lots of different versions. This is one of the versions with the rosette die and a homemade flower. This was the first one I made with the pattern paper, rosette, Tim Holtz rosette, and a Martha Stewart butterfly. Here's another version that I made with a white box with a black flower pearl, handmade, and the pattern paper. And here's another version of the box where I put all pattern paper down the front, the rosette die, and the Sizzix handmade rose. So there's lots of different versions that you can make of these. It's really up to your creativity and time and effort to put it together. All the handles have been used this pink wired ribbon that I actually purchased at the dollar store. And the one round of ribbon has done 5 boxes or 4? I think 4, but I think I used some of the ribbon for another project, so maybe 5. It would probably do 5. So how to make this box. So this is cut out using the 12 by 24 Cricut mat, and this is the Tags, Bags, Boxes and More purse cut. I scaled it in my Gypsy to get it as large as possible, so to fit that 12 by 24 mat. And the paper that I'm using for this is actually poster paper that you can get often at your dollar store, 2 for $1. You can get it at Staples, office supply stores. Lots of different places have poster paper with lots of variations of colors. What I had to do is use my meter stick to cut the paper down to fit the mat, stick it on, and then to cut it out, I actually used my deep cutting blade. I set the pressure at high and the blade on the deep housing blade at 4 and did a multi-cut. And this is what it looks like. So what I've gone ahead and done is actually just use the etch marks that are on the purse part that come when you cut it out, and have folded all along there with my bone folder, just in the essence of time. So to put this box together, I'm going to use a glue gun. So what I do first is I first of all glue this little edge to the tab here and stick that down. I have used tacky tape. I just find the glue gun is a little bit more durable and easier to use. So there's other types of adhesives, but you want this to be something that's going to be strong and hold up. Just a little bit of wear and tear when everybody's taking the cards out of the box. Okay, so there you go. Then, once that's together, I like to put glue on this tab here. And get that nicely lined up. And often what I do is I just put my bone folder in there just to hold that. And then, once that's done, I can run the glue. You might not be able to see this, but run the glue along that ledge there and just stick that down nice in place. And I'm just using the bone folder to stop my hands from getting burned. So there's it all held together on the one side. So we're going to go and do the other side here. So, as I did the last time, put the glue on here, stick that down, just hold it for a few seconds just for it to dry, and then on the little tab all the way down, and hold that down, and just run your finger along. Okay, and there is your purse box. Pretty easy to do. Now, this looks kind of, you could just keep your project like that, but it's a little plain, so I wanted to dress up the stem of it. Now, you could cut this out on the Cricut, but I'm just going to do this the old-fashioned way, and Cricutless, and I'm just going to trace the flap, and I'm just going to cut out. And that was just a 6 by 12 piece of paper, and I was able to do 3 different flaps out of there. Now I know I have kept this, but that's just to help me line up, and then what I'll do after is just trace this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ATG, and as well my quick dry adhesive, okay, so my camera battery died, so what I went ahead is finished off inking the edges, and it just gives it a nice clean finished look. Okay, and so now the next step is to hole punch the top so you can put the ribbon in for the handle. So what I'm going ahead and doing is using my Crocodile, and I'm going to use this smaller hole punch, and I'm just going to center it on the box and go in as far as I can, and center it again on the box and go in as far as I can. Then I'm using these white eyelets from my stash just to reinforce. I mean, you could probably get away without using them, but I don't know, I just find it gives a nice, easy way, professional way of finishing it off. So I'm just going to set it. There's one. And set the next one. Oop. Butterfingers tonight, sorry about that. There we go. So you can see that gives a nice, neat finish. Then the next step is to cut your handle. So I'm going to use this cream colored wired ribbon since I have none of the pink left. And you just don't need a lot, but you want it to have a cute little handle. So that's about 14.5 inches long. You just twist the ribbon and you're going to stick it into the hole and pull it through, and then you're just going to tie a knot. You just trim off the excess and pull this up to the top and through. I'm going to do the same thing with the other side. And pull it through. Tie a knot. And just trim off the excess. Pull it up through. And there is your nice little handle. Okay? And then the final step is to add a little fastener. So from my stash, I am just using Velcro. I'll finish that one off. So these ones are a little bit smaller than the ones I used in my original other ones that I showed you, but you're taking both the loopy and the sticky side, and you want to stick those together. And because it's going to be holding this open and close and being pulled, I actually use the glue gun as well to attach it. So you just want to let that sit there for a minute to dry. So I'll talk a little bit about the rosette die. You want to use a coordinating pattern paper. This is just something from my stash from my scraps, and I use the Tim Holtz die. But there is a really good tutorial, and I can't think of the person's name right now, that shows you how to make this exact same rosette size die using your gypsy. So check that out if you don't have the rosette die. So this looks about dry, that I'm ready to put glue on this side. And I want to close the box up nice now and just let that sit there to dry. Then the rosette die, I want it to hang down over top, so I'm going to put the adhesive on here. You can see I'm not being shy with it. You want it to stand up because this is going to be the place that gets used the most, and stick that down there. And then you could leave it like that if you wanted, or you could make and embellish it up a little bit. Now, I have stuck with a pink theme for these cards, so I can either use this one here or this one here. And I think I'm going to stick with the white for this one. The pink was just a little too loud. So this is a Sizzix flower, handmade with the die, but if you have the Flower Shop cartridge, you could make this no problem. And just stick that down there like that. And now this is ready to open up. And there is your finished product bag that holds a set of 6 cards, A2 size cards, and their envelopes. And this makes a lovely, lovely gift. Now, if you wanted to personalize it, you could hang some charms down there, or make an initial that hangs down there with the Doodle Charms cartridge. Lots of different things you could do to personalize this. Put something down here. I just wanted to keep these fairly simple on the outside, and then they could use this as a gift box to give a gift into somebody else once the cards are used. So lots of potential. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Let's Get Crafty. If you'd like to see close-ups of any of these projects, please check out my blog at www.scrapeahappy.blogspot.com, and we'll see you next time. Happy crafting!